Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day. My day is doing pretty all right. Today is January 6th, and it is also Saturday. It is, been an interesting weekend so far, but I hope all of you guys are doing well. This is your nightly news podcast on all the news I come across, come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Before I start this video, just want to say thank you all for watching first. But secondary, we're nearing the 100th episode of our evening news recap. It is about 4 days away. Since today is Saturday, I believe the 100th episode should release on Thursday. If nothing happens, that shouldn't happen. But Thursday is what I believe will be the day. Also the 10th. So, just keep a little eye out tomorrow, as I'm going to be posting a little Google form that you can submit questions to, and in the 100th episode, we're just going to have a little Q&A segment in the evening news recap video. So, if you guys are interested, keep your eyes peeled, and there will be a questionnaire available. It'll go up on the YouTube community tab. It'll go up on Substack. It'll go up on my Blue Sky. And maybe it'll go up on TikTok. Not too quite sure, but we'll see. But yeah, with that being said, let's get right into the news for the day. Opening up with the Trump administration segment per usual, the first topic we have today is people didn't get alerts about the Texas floods because of the cuts by the Trump administration. Texas residents got little to no warning about the flash floods due to mass firings of meteorologists and hydrologists by the Trump administration. Forecasters said they pushed out warnings as fast as they could, but the terrain and trickiness of predicting flash floods made that extremely challenging. Local officials were caught off guard by the floods and didn't even know that they were coming because of this. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the administration plans to fix the ancient forecasting tech. She said that's one of the reasons that when the President Trump took office, he said he wanted to fix and currently upgrades the technology. She went on to say, "We know everybody wants more warning time, and that's why we are working to upgrade the technologies that have been neglected for far too long." But she did not provide a timeline for said improvements. This isn't about outdated technology. They just don't want to admit that they screwed up by firing hundreds of people. Realistically, there could have been ample warning 10 months ago when we still had people doing those jobs. Yet that's no longer the case because a majority of them are now working for foreign governments. But hey, government efficiency over the safety of the people, am I right? Anything to, save a little more so we can send a little more to Israel. I'm going to get myself arrested for how much I talk about Israel. I'm not anti-Semitic, guys. Don't have a problem with anyone's religion. Believe in whatever you want. I just have a problem with Israel. Always got to say that because, it's a rough subject, to say the least. Anyways, moving on, Trump calls Elon Musk a train wreck over his new political party. In a new post on True Social, Trump has called Musk a train wreck, and even called him a Democrat in a rant against the former member of the Trump administration. In his post, he wrote, "I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks." For some reason, I can't say that word. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. The system was not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos. And we have enough of that from the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence and their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth-running machine that just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of our country. It is which would have forced everyone to buy. I just skipped an entire line, my bad. It is a great bill. Unfortunately, it eliminates the ridiculous electric vehicle mandate, which would have forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time. I have been strongly opposed to that from the very beginning. People are now allowed to buy whatever they want, gasoline-powered hybrids, which are doing very well, or new technologies as they come out. No more EV mandate. I've campaigned on this for 2 years. Quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew I was going to terminate the EV mandate. It was in every speech I made and in every conversation I had. He said he had no problems with that. I was very surprised. Additionally, Elon asked one of his close friends to run NASA, and while I thought his friend was very good, I was surprised to learn that he was a blue blooded Democrat who had never contributed to a Republican before. Elon probably was also. I also thought it was inappropriate that a very close friend of Elon, who was in the space business, run NASA when NASA is such a big part of Elon's corporate life. My number one charge is to protect the American public. Well, guys, I mean, Trump must be really upset to compare Elon Musk to those radical left Democrats. Am I right, guys? I can't even say that without laughing. Honestly, if Elon wants a centrist party that does jack, he probably should support the Democratic Party, instead of making his own. But hey, I'm not going to tell a billionaire how to waste his money. I think Musk's America Party will get one seat, maybe two, if they focus rural areas. But population centers would never vote for Musk as they tend to lean more left. And I just really don't see how he could appeal to those rural areas. So I really just don't see overall where he's going to win. I mean, really, I don't. But maybe he does win one seat in some random area throughout the country. I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't see him going over two. I really don't. Just because I don't really see his appeal matter. He has money, sure, but he doesn't have the votes, and I don't think he's going to get the votes. Maybe I'm wrong on that, though. I really just don't think Elon has that much support in the United States these days, honestly. In other news, Trump won't rule out ending FEMA and blames Biden for the floods in Texas. Holy English. Trump was asked by reporters if he planned to get rid of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, where he would when he said he wouldn't rule it out. I cannot speak. Trump said, FEMA is something we can talk about later. Another reporter asked if he was investigating the cuts leading to vacancies at the Weather Service, leading to the issues with the floods, when Trump said they didn't. That water situation, it all really was the Biden setup. That was not our setup. He would go on to retract, blaming Biden, saying, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. Do you guys think he plans to blame Biden throughout this entire administration? I mean, at this point, he's just a non-consensual scapegoat, if you will. Um, you know, I don't think a single thing he has blamed Biden for has actually been Biden's fault. As for FEMA, Trump doesn't care. He never will. I guarantee you he just wanted to avoid the question. He's going to cut the program, and the program, if it has any budget left, I'm not too sure on where FEMA lies in the big, beautiful budget bill, but if it has any funding left, is very much so going to struggle to help the people in these communities that have been destroyed by the flood. I will have to read up on that, though. I'm not sure where FEMA is in the budget. There are so many pages in that budget. I haven't read them all. I've read a majority, but again, it's 1,000 pages. There's so much to really discuss there and think about there and read there. Moving on to the other news segment, though, Trump voter wants his vote back because his wife got detained by ICE. A family of a Trump supporter is feeling family of Trump supporters are feeling betrayed by ICE agents after they detained the wife of a wife who was a Canadian national while she was interviewing for permanent residency in the United States. Self-identified Trump voter Francisca Oliveira told KGTV, a California news station, "We feel totally blindsided." Going on to say, "I want my vote back." Cynthia Oliveira, 45, is the mother of 3 U.S.-born children, but was in the U.S. without any legal status. According to her, she and her family came from Toronto when she was 10. She since then has been sent to El Paso, Texas, where she is now waiting to be deported. I have no sympathy at all for this family because what do they expect? This is the problem with MAGA. They vote for things to affect other people, but they don't think it's going to affect them because they aren't self-aware, because they're not going to be. Time and time again, things happen and they act like, oh, this doesn't affect me, or oh, Trump's doing it right. No, these affect you. They affect the people around you, yet they just don't care. They act like they've never heard it before. It's nothing but their own fault because they don't pay attention. They don't listen to the warnings. They don't listen to the people around them telling them, hey, this is bad for us. It really is. No, they would rather listen to Fox News and Trump himself because they believe Trump could do nothing wrong. That is the actual active problem in this country. And on my TikTok, I got comments about, oh, well, it's not the wife's fault because she can't vote. A majority of MAGA, and this is a fact, because I can tell you it's a fact because of my entire family is MAGA. A majority of MAGA believe women shouldn't even have the right to vote, and a majority of them a majority of the men in MAGA choose the vote for their spouse. They tell their spouse who to vote for. So either way, this woman likely would have voted for Trump and likely still supported Trump. So saying that it's not her fault because she didn't support Trump because she can't vote isn't the case, because clearly her entire family supports Trump, for one, and for two, MAGA is known for just deciding who their spouses are going to vote. They don't really give them the decision. Sure, maybe some, women do make that decision on their own, but a majority of the women in MAGA are told who to vote for by the people around them and by their spouses. They don't make that decision for them. They are told who to support by their husbands. They don't make that decision for them, and they just go along with it. It is a part of the problem. I will say that much. The fact that we still have issues with women not making their own decisions in this country is crazy, and it needs to be solved. But it's a whole nother story. But I will say that it is very likely that she would have still supported Trump either way. Anyways, moving on to the final topic for tonight, TikTok is making a new app for US-based users. TikTok is building a new version of their app for US-based users ahead of the planned sale coming this week. This came after Trump said on Friday that he pretty much has a deal done for the sale of TikTok. According to Reuters, TikTok plans to release the app on September 5th. The report adds the TikTok users will eventually have to download the new app. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But the existing app should work until March of next year. I'm going to be honest, I don't think any form of left content on TikTok or this new app, if a sale doesn't happen, is possible. It's going to most likely be a place where the administration can spread propaganda and a place where they control what's being said on the app. Hopefully I'm wrong, but honestly, I wouldn't be shocked by it at all. This administration wants to control what's said and what's heard. TikTok is a great way for them to do that. TikTok is already a way for the left to get information out right now. In fact, it's one of the biggest ones, especially with Gen Z. If Trump can cut that out, if his administration can cut out the left sound on a platform like TikTok, he can control the news. He really can. TikTok is the easiest way for us to get information out right now. And Trump wants to control that because it's the best way for him to do it. Everyone uses TikTok. And if he can control that, he can control everything else. Outside of that, I don't know. Do I think TikTok will sell? Absolutely not. Because I don't think China wants to do it. If there's another app, do I think it will be controlled by the administration? Most likely. Do I wish that wasn't the case? Yes, absolutely. But I don't think we're going to get out of that. I think at the end of the day, Trump's going to do what he can to not only make himself successful, but make sure that he can control the masses. And, using TikTok is essentially the perfect way to do that. He who controls the media controls the world, essentially, from maybe not the world, but what I'm getting at. They control, at least our view of the world. He would essentially be able to do what Kim Jong-un is doing now, closing off the United States from getting that information from other sources or spreading that information to other sources. Of course, we do have things like Substack. We do have things like YouTube to some degree. But, things are changing, and TikTok changing is going to be a big, important part of not only our culture today, but, society as a whole. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you are on YouTube, please consider subscribing. We are so close, so close to 200 subscribers. So please, if you are new here, please subscribe to the YouTube. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. The goal is 500 subscribers. The real goal is a YouTube play button, but 500 subscribers is the first goal. So please help me get there. We got around a month or so left of the summer before I dip out to college. So I would love to be able to get 500 subscribers on YouTube if we can. If you're on Substack, please consider pledging your support. All funds go to me. They'll help me pay for the things that I'll need to pay for in college, like food and clothing and all those kinds of things. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this page and on all of my pages. It means the world to me so much. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you all in tomorrow's episode. Later.